Hello and a very warm welcome to you all. I'm Vikas Nagia with another episode of CyberWatch, a program through which you get to meet technocrats, thought leaders and subject matter experts. Ladies and gentlemen, the world today is talking about artificial intelligence, but the big question is, how safe is it? On the program today with our special guest, we will be discussing on the topic preventing an AI-related catastrophe, cyber implications, and risk of artificial intelligence. I have with me, as I said earlier, two very special guests on the program. My first guest is Sheetal Rishi. Sheetal is the Vice President, High Performance Computing and AI Deployments at the HP Enterprise. My second guest on the program is an industry veteran, a familiar face on CyberWatch, Lalit Ahluwalia, the founder and CEO of DigitalXForce and iTrustXForce. Lalit and Sheetal, thank you so very much for joining us on CyberWatch. Sheetal, I'd like to get started with you on the program, and in the very beginning, tell us about artificial intelligence. As I said in the very beginning, that the world is talking about it, but how safe is it?
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show, first of all. Before we talk about safety, I think maybe let's spend a few minutes just explaining what is AI, because
I think that's very important, especially, with our demographics and the program that is watched by the viewers 8 through 80, especially also bringing in our seniors in consideration. So feel free to express your thoughts in English as well as a bit in Hindi also.
Sure, absolutely. We'd love to do that. Right. So I think AI is still a very generic term. There is no consensus in the market that says this is AI. But I think the way to net it out is if a machine can speak to you just like a human being would do, so a Siri or an Alexa at home, that's an example of AI, for example, right? It can speak. If a machine can help you create images, not just take pictures like a camera does, but help you create images of your choice. We take a shot here and say, I change the color of clothing that you're wearing, for example. That is AI, what AI does. And again, it can be an image or it can be a video. And what can help you write text, for example, when machine does, it helps you articulate your thoughts and put it on paper or wherever you're writing an email, for example, and saying, this is the topic, help me elaborate. That is AI. So it is, wherever there are humans, there is AI, is what I would like to think. Now, is it safe or not? Depends on the users, Technology advancements, massive advancements. In the last 1 year itself, it's no wonder everybody was talking about it. Every organization wants to become an AI. It's on the board's topic, board's agendas. Every college, school you go to is talking about long list of AI courses that are available, which is a good thing because we need people to be able to not just consume the technology, but also be able to create new technology use cases. So I think the market opportunity is huge. That is where the world is heading. I call it, in my mind, it is where 100 years back the agricultural industrial revolution was. I think we are at that stage where there is going to be a massive technological transformation. The way we order things, the way we do banking, the way we check on our healthcare, for example, the way we even date, find friends, find houses, move countries, is going to be influenced by what is called as AI.
AI. Sheetal, you've set the tone of our conversation in the very beginning in a very subtle way, very beautifully and articulately. I was trying to jump straight into the safety and safeguard things, but I think it was important for us to lay out some fundamentals that what AI is all about. Lalit, I have a takeaway from Sheetal's answer, the way she said that wherever human beings are, AI is there. It can't be the opposite, in my opinion. Wherever AI is it true that the human beings will be there?
I think both exist in the same ecosystem.
Exist, but the thing is, with human beings, AI can be there. But with AI, do you think human beings will be there?
Absolutely, yes. And we'll articulate with some of the examples.
Please.
Again.
Please.
Right? So the same example I'm going to reverse. You might have a Siri or hey, what's the weather, that you ask Alexa at home.
Right.
But the machine is not asking a machine because the machine is not implying what really is. Is the human really trying to interact with that? Is the human element that's really trying to make use of that technology? unless we really want to totally live in the robotic world and we don't need human beings altogether.
Right.
Forbid, that day that never comes. कि वो दिन ही ना आए कि भैया भगवान इंसान बनाया क्यों मशीन ही बनाने थे.
Right.
So I don't think so that will exist. Also understand, as we're living in the new digital world, there is a need for AI. So AI did not just come on its own.
Right.
There's certain things because हमारा जो life का pace जो है, speed है, वो इतनी fast हो चुकी है कि humanly we cannot address all that. That's the reason why this is prompting for those use cases, making more efficient. But in the essence of that efficiency, we cannot neglect the safety, which we'll talk about as well.
Yeah.
So there's no denying that AI is here and AI is here to stay. How are you going to apply AI in a safe and secure fashion and to the use cases of what humans really need?
Right.
I always call it like an AI versus RI, the artificial intelligence versus real intelligence.
Right.
Without real intelligence, AI will not have a much of a place either.
Yeah, बहुत खूबसूरत बात है ललित जिस तरह से आपने AI और RI की बात करी. Sheetal, you were mentioning about students are very excited. The folks at the college campuses, high schools, they're very excited about AI. एक वक्त था जब हम एज अ पेरेंट्स बच्चों को बोलते थे और हमारे पेरेंट्स भी बोलते थे कि भाई पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो अच्छे बनोगे, पढ़ाई पर ध्यान दो. तो हम लोग तो पढ़ लिख गए और एक लेवल पे पहुंच गए, लेकिन आज ये बात जब हम अपने बच्चों को बोलते हैं तो आधा काम तो चैट जीपीटी से हो रहा है और आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस से हो रहा है. आई वांट टू गेट योर रिएक्शन. अब ये कहना कितना सही रहेगा कि पढ़ो लिखो, काम अगर एआई नहीं करना है तो पढ़ने लिखने की क्या जरूरत है?
अभी बहुत कंट्रोवर्शियल टॉपिक है एंड I don't think there is again one single chain of thought. There are two extremes of people. There is a group of people that think AI is going to consume human beings. There will be no RI because AI is not AI, it's actually smart computing.
Right.
But then there is another school of thought which says, no, AI is not autonomous yet, it will never be, or rather said it should never be.
Right.
But where will it land? I don't know the answer to that. तो अभी बच्चों को क्या बोले, लिखो पढ़ो, लिखो पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा ही, so that they can validate, I think, apply themselves to what a technology is telling versus blindly following. That's the phase we are in right now.
Yeah.
Right? Because AI models today are based on, when internet came, for example, suddenly we were all connected, right? वो चिट्ठी लिखना, my grandfather used to send me letters every week, literally every week when I was studying in college.
Right.
But वो टाइम खत्म हो गया, phones आ गए, तो फिर वो text message आने phone call आती थी, फिर text पे चले गए, अब तो Facebook, social media पे, social media पे डाल दिया तो सबको पता चल गया.
Right.
वो time is evolving. We are all evolving, right?
Sure.
Like your parents are probably talking to you more on text messages now.
Right.
That's the new thing.
Right.
We all have to evolve. Our kids need to know कि मम्मा को बताना है कि मैं यहाँ पे ठीक ठाक पहुँच गया. As long as that emotion is there, I think I'm happy.
Yeah.
The model of engagement has changed through a device.
So Vikas, let me add something.
Sure,
What you just kind of started by exemplifying something.
Yeah.
So the example I will bring is like, look at calculators and computers.
Yeah.
When they were introduced, really doesn't mean that I don't have to teach math and numbers to my kids. They still need to understand numbers. They still understand how to apply it logically, while the computers and calculators are enabling the process, making better.
Yeah.
Same way, AI is an enabler now. It enables you things do more efficiently, more effectively, more automatically in some cases, which was more a mundane human task. That doesn't mean, oh, you don't need to write essays anymore because AI will write your essay. No, what essay is all about? Is it really giving you the outcome that you're looking for? Who is supposed to really kind of read that? That's a good application of that, right? Just like internet is an enabler.
Yes. As Sheetal said very rightly, that it's a very debatable thing, but yes, we have to encourage, and we know that AI is not coming, it's already here. And the future is all about AI. So we'll continue to talk about that with our experts on the program. Viewers, you stay tuned. Sheetal and Lalit, you be with us. We'll be right back after these messages. Once again, welcome to CyberWatch. Sheetal, so I also wanted to get some insight from you about the artificial intelligence's existence. What was really the need of it and where it all started from?
Yeah, so here is my opinion on that, and it's a great question. I wondered myself, why AI? क्या ज़रूरत थी AI इन्वेंट करने की?
Sure.
अपनी प्रॉब्लम्स खुद ही क्रिएट कर ली हैं, ऐसे लगता है कई बार, राइट? बट इट्स सेम
And
गोज
things are entangled to some
दे
extent.
आर वेरी इंटैंगल्ड. डायनामाइट इन्वेंट करने की क्या ज़रूरत थी? न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स इन्वेंट करने की क्या ज़रूरत थी? देयर वाज अ नीड, राइट? वेयर देयर इज अ नीड, humans are very smart. We will create new things, and that's what I really believe in.
Right.
AI will not displace humans. Humans are smart enough to find their new thing. That's what I want to be optimistic about. But anyways, in my opinion, AI karta kya hai? AI is going to help us predict better, simulate better. Now, why prediction is an accurate prediction is even more critical, because the world is evolving, right? Earth का size बड़ा नहीं है, अभी भी उतना ही है जितना था many millions of years ago.
Right.
7 billion लोग के करीब हम लोग पहुंच चुके हैं, तो resources तो limited हैं. So my understanding is, I think it's resource optimization and making sure that all the 7 billion plus people on this earth can be and are taken care of is probably one of the primary drivers of inventing the next version of the technology.
Yeah.
And I don't think the technology is like new, just came last year with OpenAI or ChatGPT. अब सबको पता चल गया, तो it looks like the cat is out of the bag. But in warfare, in many advanced weather predictions, for example, जब से पहला plane fly हुआ था, तब से machine learning, deep learning technologies were being used to predict, create a pathway for the plane so you are safe. Or when vaccine developments had to happen, there was always technology happening.
Sure.
It's just now that the pace of this technology has exponentially increased. वो हमारा Moore's law जिसे कहते हैं ना कि हर 2-3 महीने में चीज़ डबल होती है, वो that's not working in this case anymore.
Right.
The new versions are coming much faster क्योंकि उनकी ज़रूरत भी है. So use case real time agriculture, land तो उतना ही है, soil के ऊपर कितने issues चल रहे हैं. So you have to be careful. Can you predict कि कौन सी soil पे if there is a drought expected, for example, right? Based on weather predictions, you can do that correlation and come back and say कि इस world के इस patch पे there is expected drought, or there is a certain breed of ecosystem that is probably going to get impacted. So can we, and again there are two schools of thoughts here, can we help minimize the gap or find an alternative before an extinction happens? Right? That I think is being enabled by AI, and it probably was or is one of the root causes elements of saying, can I predict better? Can I simulate an environment? अगर कहीं drought हुआ तो कैसे उसको stop करना है, या कहीं floods आ रहे हैं तो कैसे उसको prevent कर सकते हैं, minimize कर सकते हैं impact.
Right.
All of that analytics is being done using what's so-called AI technology, in my opinion.
Yeah. So Lalit, what all we have to be careful about while using AI?
I think there's plenty with any usage of any technology. Again, I just want to correlate people who are more familiar with. Internet has its advantages, also has disadvantages.
Sure.
Means what all you can accessibility of data is advantage. But what all you want to access and who all you want to enable it for is a disadvantage. Yeah. The same way AI, the same function can be used or misused. That's the biggest thing. Maybe I'm let me take it back, right? I think I want to add to what Sheetal just said, the evolution. I think the two big parameters which I really see is the digital pace. That's prompting you. It's not even like, oh, it's a good to have. It's must have now, because you cannot keep up with the digital pace with the regular way of you doing things, and hence AI automation and all these things will be needed, right?
Sure.
The another big area is, look how much data explosion has happened. Mm-hmm. Everything that you're really doing in the digital world is based on what? Data.
Correct.
Data is the new oil, what they really say, right? In the new economy. Can humanly we process all that data? Think of that way. When I was getting 10 applications from the applicants, great, I can process it. Maybe it went to 100, I made two more people, I will still deal with that. I'm getting 1,000 applications every day now. Can I process the applicants? Just reviewing the profiles manually. It's a use case for AI. Please go and filter what I need to filter so that I have to now again review only 10 profiles.
Right.
Another way to look at AI. So it doesn't matter which industry, which segment, everyone has those areas or tasks which now you need to up pace or keep up with the pace and read and analyze the data and process the outcomes. That's why AI will be needed, and hence why more and more AI adoption is going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, as now you're enabling that, things what you're missing, where the key figure is, where the real risk comes. Because you don't have a visibility into what's really happening, and what if it's misconfigured.
Right.
The job applicants what's the fear? In the same example, I might like now overlook some real candidates which machine did not like feel like was the right candidate, but I could have picked up because I can read a little differently.
Right.
Because the machine only could adapt to the so many parameters.
Right.
It's all parameter driven at the end of the day, right? Of course, is now adding more parameters to the mix and making more dynamic, right?
Right.
The other area is what you're processing is in what hands is it going and how they're really applying it.
Yeah.
It's now on the end user, how they want to apply it.
Yeah.
And when you do not have a governance or proper, kind of like monitoring, then give me some tool. The first usage I'm going to have is कि भैया मेरा मतलब कैसे serve हो रहा है इसमें.
Lalit brought in a very pertinent point about risks.
Yeah.
So let me talk about the risks and the safety norms that folks or our viewers should be aware about while utilizing artificial intelligence.
Yeah, great question. I want to build on Lalit's points here. I think it starts with awareness and what you alluded to as well. कि पहले know that there is AI. So जैसे कई apps हैं, banking apps हैं, जिस पे वो बोलते हैं अपना password save करो और now they have started saying my voice is my password, right? But mimicking voice can be done so easily. Somebody sitting in God knows where can use AI very simply and be able to say, this is your voice, right? So they can impersonate you and actually be able to get into a banking system using your knowledge. So अगर आपको उसके बारे में पता ही नहीं कैसा हो सकता है, you will never believe what मेरी आवाज़ कैसे तो मैं हूँ ही नहीं, right? So I think it starts with being aware of what could happen. Do we know all the ways to mitigate the risks? I don't think so, because we don't know what else can happen. What are the risks involved, right? I want to go back to your recruitment example also. जब वो smart recruiters नहीं होते थे ना, जो smart recruiters, not humans, but I mean the applications were not there. And it's a real story. One of my very old recruiters in one of my first jobs shared this with me. She said they realized कि सबके admin assistants ना सबके resumes alphabetically layout करते थे. तो जिसका नाम A, B, C से शुरू है, उनके तो ऊपर है resumes. तो जब इंटरव्यूअर है उसने रिज्यूमे पढ़ने शुरू करे, ओके ललित मेरा तो खैर चांस ही नहीं है, शायद आप थोड़े ऊपर होते और आप तो भूल ही जाओ.
बी तो बहुत ही बाद में
तो बिल्कुल ही पीछे आएगा. तो जिसके नाम ए से थे तो उनका रिज्यूमे, और जब ललित को मिल गया कैंडिडेट फर्स्ट 10 में ही मिल गया, तो वो बेचारे पीछे वाले तो रह ही गए, राइट? नाउ that is actually bias, unconscious bias. It's not that you don't want to look at V's and S's. It's just that तुम लाइन में इतना पीछे हो गए, तुम्हारा नंबर ही नहीं आया. अब AI से वो जो प्रॉब्लम है ना, वो एक्स्ट्रापोलेट हो रही है. तो अगर बायस है कि डॉक्टर टेक्निकली, अच्छा जी डॉक्टर को तो आप यही सोचोगे कोई मैन विल शो अप. अगर आप बोलेंगे नर्स तो कोई फीमेल आ जाएगी, राइट? विद ऑल ड्यू रिस्पेक्ट, अगर आप कोई लो लेवल जॉब सोचेंगे तो आपको लगेगा कि कोई, I mean, just creating too much racial discrimination in the process.
Right.
So, and mortgages is another problem, right? Just pay agar kisi, there are certain neighborhoods you will see that only had one kind of race getting into that community.
Sure.
Because their mortgages were not approved. Now, guess what? They were not approved because there was human bias. Now, with machines, if you're going to analyze a certain area, अब सारे addresses, सब genders, सारे जो parameters आप बोल रहे हो वो देखोगे, वैसे तरह के लोग होते हैं, वो डॉक्टर्स या इंजीनियर्स. तो अब कोई जो बेचारा छोटा है, जिस वो टाइटल नहीं है, अगर वो मॉर्गेज अप्लाई करेगा तो इट्स क्वाइट पॉसिबल कि जो मॉर्गेज का एल्गोरिदम है वो आपकी एप्लीकेशन को पहले रिजेक्ट कर दे, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ ईदर योर जेंडर और व्हाट काइंड ऑफ जॉब यू हैव और योर रेशियल बैकग्राउंड, राइट? दैट इज़ माई बिगेस्ट फियर, दैट इज़ माई बिगेस्ट रिस्क. अब कैसे उसको मिटिगेट करें? भाई अपना तो पहले डेटा क्वालिटी करो, राइट? डेटा शुड बी वेरी डिवर्स. इट कैन नॉट जस्ट बी ऑल एज, पूरे A to Z है यार, 26 अल्फ़ाबेट्स हैं, पूरे यूज़ करो यार. वेरी सिंपल एग्जांपल आई एम गिविंग, राइट? सो दैट ह्यूमन, टू योर पॉइंट एज वेल ललित, इट इज़ अ ह्यूमन and machine partnership that needs to be initiated. There have to be policies in place by organization, by regulators, by government. I don't think it's just enterprise driven. क्योंकि अगर सिर्फ enterprise driven होगा, so in my opinion, some people will become very, very rich, and I'm not sure about the rest of the group, right?
And let me now qualify further on the cyber side of the house, right? The AI methods. As I said, you will rely more and more AI to do it. In a simple example, I'm going to take financial transactions. I might use the power of artificial intelligence to do certain transactions on my behalf.
Right.
If I was doing those things myself, I would like maybe draw some boundaries, how much and what all. but एक AI algorithm में आपने उसको दे दिया कि हाँ, that's okay, go do it, without any boundaries being defined.
Right.
Now it's a machine talking to a machine in a way.
Yep.
They're making decisions on your behalf. You won't even realize what happened, and things are flushed out. Because anything on the digital we already identify, right, is vulnerable. It can be exposed and it could be exploited.
Yeah.
Now because the machine is talking to machine and you already given an authority, that's the worst part of it. You enabled it and you have very less monitoring on that, what you can do or not do, because the regulations are not there today.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we'll talk about in the future episodes too. European Union, they kind of really were successful to file the first AI Act regulation, demanding that AI, wherever you're using, you have to like disclose that this is being generated by AI, or this content is produced by AI and everything, or this action is being taken by that, so that there is enough of clarity and visibility on that.
I think that was a news that made headlines in the month of Jan 2024, this year itself. Very valid point. Viewers, it's time for us to take another short break over here, but don't go away. We'll be right back after these messages. And yes, once we return back, keeping up with the tradition of CyberWatch, we will take a quick look first at the CyberWatch News Flash. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. You're watching CyberWatch and I'm Vikas Nangia. Ladies and gentlemen, on the program today from our expert guests, we are learning about artificial intelligence and the momentum is just building up. Before we continue our conversations with Lalit Ahluwalia and Sheetal Rishi, guys, once again, welcome to the program. We'd like to take a quick look at the CyberWatch News Flash. Healthcare vendor hack exposes data of 2.4 million patients. A major healthcare data breach has impacted nearly 2.4 million patients after hackers infiltrated the network of Medical Management Resource Group, an Arizona-based administrative services provider for ophthalmology practices. The November cyber attack against MMRG, which does business as American Vision Partners, involved the theft of sensitive patient information, including names, contact details, birth dates, medical records, and social security numbers. MMRG works with about a dozen eye care practices across multiple states. This incident underscores the data security risks posed when third-party vendors like MMRG get breached, potentially exposing millions of patients. In 2022, around 40% of major health data breaches involved hacked business associates like medical transcription services and billing companies. The MMRG hack again highlights the need for healthcare entities to vet vendor cybersecurity controls and risk management. Well, that was a great piece of news flash, and of course, all the news that's making headlines, that's the idea that we cover on our program. बहुत सी जानकारी अब मिल गई शीतल हमें, और एक उत्सुकता सी बढ़ती जा रही है कि भाई आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हमारी ज़िंदगी के इर्द गिर्द कैसे घूमने वाला है. This is an election year. There's so much buzz about it, whether it is India or United States, and we know a lot of drama happened during the previous elections as well, and that continues to be the topic of conversation till date. What impact could AI have in the upcoming elections? उससे जुड़ा कोई related, कोई case study that comes to your mind, please do share with us.
So the case study, election time है, right? Not only here, back
home in India
भी हो रहा है, and it is just, and UK is going through a big major election coming up as well.
Right.
So from a danger perspective, misinformation. I think that's my biggest fear. I think this is the time to remind ourselves, जो कहते हैं ना, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, that is not true. जो चमकता है वो सोना नहीं है. Everything. So अपनी अक्ल लड़ाओ, right? The old phrases that used to be. I think that's what I would request the audience, you know. And again, don't believe everything that you see. The speed at creating information or misinformation is exponential. You just will not be able to differentiate between what is real, what is fake, so-called deep fake. My biggest fear factor is that there will be a lot of news doing rounds, which quoting events or speakers which may actually not have happened. Now,
Right.
how do we prevent it? Is, in my opinion, just be aware, be mindful of what you are hearing or listening, and get to trustworthy resources. Just follow everything that you see on Instagram or social media platforms. Again, I'm not trying to put one application on point, but what you see on social media may not always be true. So please use your own judgment, and that's where the human element comes in. I think that's the biggest thing.
I think election system, I think everybody gets tuned in some form or fashion.
Right.
Because it's exciting. Just like you said, momentum is building up. Elections are also about a momentum game.
Sure.
जब आप सुनते हो कि अच्छा ये पार्टी अब जीत रही है, इसके वोट, automatically curiosity increases, even though that might be just a build-up. Now the build-up can happen very fast using the fake mechanisms and using AI. Uske upar, like you will see, of course we'll talk about this term deep fake in a separate term too. There could be recorded videos which are not even recorded, real true artifacts that will be the influential. For example, oh look, this famous personality is now endorsing this candidate. How do you know this person has been endorsed? That could be just a deep fake. That's another way to kind of keep yourself out, but that's another way AI can be used to really influence that. Third, and the more important one, we kind of got a little taste of election systems hacking, or miscounting, or the voting machines being compromised. Imagine some of this will be more remote voting or other things, and now put the whole AI element into that too. After all that, which is the influence part, misinformation part, there is a probably potential impact if those are not properly safeguarded. Even the infrastructure, the voting machines and stuff could also be compromised. There's a lot to kind of uncover under the hoods. And it's not just purely just AI, there are other components too. But AI, artificial intelligence, and all this automation that we're really looking at is going to play a big role. And as you know, elections are one of the key pillars, right, for any democracy. If that does not go as what the people want, it could be a catastrophe on its own.
Viewers, this brings us to the end of our today's episode of CyberWatch. And remember, this particular topic will continue with our expert panels in our next episode as well. We'll talk more about artificial intelligence. And remember, CyberWatch is powered by DigitalXForce and iTrustXForce. If you want to write into us with your questions, queries, and concern, you can write us at cyberwatch@tvasiausa.com. And if you want to reach out to DigitalXForce, Lalit, you can give us the insight. What's the best way to do that?
The easiest is go to the websites, DigitalXForce.com and iTrustXForce.com, and you'll find ample information and find ways to reach us. Also on the social media, whether it's LinkedIn or other mechanisms. Please.
All right. Thank you so very much. Viewers, until next time, this is Vikas Nange signing off. Thank you for watching.